I'm trying to get on Zoom. My app is screwed up.
That is what
I am
usually happens.
reinstalling it. So since, go ahead and move the meeting.
I would say.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okey doke. Pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and
Justice for all.
Turn around, see if anybody else came in. Okey doke, roll call of members.
Shelley Smelsley,
Here,
Lauren Smothers,
here,
John Carroll. Here. Mark Buckeye. Here. Barbara Bosler Peterson,
here.
Samir Zugabe,
present.
Alderman Eric Bennett, and Gary Ross.
Yes.
We have a quorum.
All righty, approval of the agenda.
Motion to approve the
And
agenda.
I will second that. It's from the, not last month, it's from the previous.
Well, yeah.
Yes.
Well, the agenda is,
The agenda.
Oh, my fault. Agenda, not the,
right, not the minutes.
Approval of the minutes and
I move to approve the minutes.
second.
the minutes from November.
Take it back, 3 months ago.
Yeah.
2 months ago. I forgot, we don't meet in December.
All
The
right.
dinner was good.
Public Works report.
We need to get a first.
Did we have dinner?
Did we?
I thought we did, okay.
Yeah, we went to the animal.
Yeah, we went to the end.
Approval of the minutes. Thought-
First, second.
I,
He first,
Okay.
she first and he second.
yeah.
Is that what you meant?
Yeah, all in favor.
All in favor?
Aye.
I need to scoot over so I can hear him better, okay?
Gary.
And all opposed, or anyone opposed? No.
Nope.
All right, now, Public Works report. Would that be him?
Jeff has a request. Otherwise, we're really on, with the big rock came in today. So this is the first item of our, of the playground equipment that would go in over by the soccer field.
Yeah. I'm just saying that every time I just.
Yeah, it should stay up there.
All right, yeah, so the first piece came for the playground, a big rock, that's 800-pound rock.
Nice.
Wow.
So we got that stored under the park house. Other than that, we got the bushes removed at the entrance.
So,
Still need to do some dirt work and get some of the roots that are sticking up out of the ground, but it's been so wet, we really can't get equipment in there without just really making a mess of things.
And I might add, I've had some positive feedback. You'd not believe how many people, 3 separate people have said how much better it looks up there.
Yeah, I mean, I tried to maintain them, but there was so much vines and stuff growing through them.
Right, right. And
It's out of
they're
control.
mainly people that live back in there, and so it's just so nice to come up to a clearing, so.
Yep.
Good job.
We got a mower that went to Fleegs for just some warranted maintenance, so nothing that cost the city anything. And other than that, I wanted to bring up removing the tennis courts, the old tennis courts, fence, asphalt, everything, just seeding it for right now. And if we ever get to where we're going to put that little multi thing there, then it'll just be ready to go. We feel it's kind of a little bit of an eyesore, and it takes quite a bit of maintenance on our end just to weed eat all of it, because it's all cracks and weeds just grow everywhere throughout there. So
What do you do with all that waste? Like the asphalt and,
actually, we dump it down at Steiger's because he has that big sinkhole behind his house that he was, so a lot of that stuff just gets dumped right in there, push it off with a backhoe. So all the metal stuff would go to scrap, which we would turn in, and, that'd go,
You're gonna get money back for that, and it goes back in the park board budget.
yeah.
park board.
But other than that, that's all I got.
So we need a motion, second, and a vote to whether to remove the fencing and the asphalt along Main Street with the old tennis courts.
Oh, pardon me?
Okay.
He said we need to make a motion to have it removed. With
The old tennis
the old
court.
tennis courts down right.
The fencing and the asphalt, just get it all removed. Yeah, there's,
It's got a fence
That's
around
around
it.
half of it.
I see.
So let's make a
I would take
motion.
motion to remove tennis courts and the fencing.
And I will second that.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Shelley?
All in favor?
Anyone opposed?
Right,
Yeah, John, did you?
on,
We're good to
Go
go?
for it.
John had a question.
John had a
Okay.
When we discussed this, removal of the shrubs.
Yeah.
I was a little concerned about the loss of the plants, but I went and looked at it, and I think you're absolutely right. It reached a point where the negatives were outweighing the positives.
Yeah.
So, good. One thing, I think it might have stopped a few people from driving over and down into the sinkhole at one time.
Mm-hmm.
But I've had a conversation with a landscape architect who thinks that we could do something in place of those Spitzer shrubs. It would, if that architect is accurate and will provide me with a drawing, as he said he would, I would bring it to this board for approval. But we might be able to do something to make that look nice, restore a little bit of greenery, but make it a manageable situation, and also sort of delimit the edge of that slope so that it's not a hazard.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I just wanted you to know that.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, bring anything to us and, I mean, you guys will have to agree to it or whatever, but yeah, we're down for whatever.
Yeah,
Once
because
it
it's like the entrance to the park.
Yeah, it's not a secret. It's Lawrence Myers, who's done some other projects for the city. And I took him out there and he had some, I think, some good ideas. But we can kick it around if he gives me a drawing, he says he will.
Yeah, once it dries up, we were just gonna kind of cut the hill back just a little bit to where it wasn't so dramatic, because there's enough dirt there where we can kind of slope it down just a little bit. So,
Yeah.
and then we can maintain it like that until you all figure out what you want to do.
Well, and we're right in a season when it would make sense to install plants.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. You're getting there.
We'll see what happens.
Okay.
Some of it'll be timing too, because once we hit April, then most of the time's gonna be mowing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Understood.
sooner the
Which
better.
could also maybe something on a volunteer basis if it's not something that we need heavy equipment for or whatever, but.
And that's kind of where we were at. We figured we could maybe cut the slope down a little bit where it wasn't so dramatic. So if we don't get to it this year, it's, you know, it's manageable for this year or whatever. Because we do have the playground coming that we're going to have to be spending time on that. We still got a little bit of dirt work up by the bathrooms that need to be done as well. So, and it is almost the end of February, beginning of March.
There
So,
we go.
And then we mow.
and then we
Start
mow.
mowing.
So,
Happy, where are we with the deal between community center and St. Gen? Is that something we are completely out of? The ball fields, remember?
No, that's
That's nothing
It's
we
not with the
need to,
community center, it was with a private group that wanted to do Betty's Field.
yeah. We don't really need to be aware of it. I mean, they're dealing with it, correct? We don't have to stress about it.
I have no idea what their plans are at this point.
The
Yeah, I
spring,
think that-
spring sports start a week from today.
Right.
I was just curious if they come to an agreement, if we needed to be aware of anything between them or just,
That was all.
I mean, they were gonna do all the work last fall so they could get it planted, ready to go, so I would think they'd have to hold off until fall again.
okay,
Because if they're gonna use that field, it's gonna, you know, there's no way to tear it up at this point.
okay.
I was kind of curious on that too.
They haven't done anything with it, have they?
No.
It looks, that's kind of part of my question is, it doesn't look any different now than it did 6 months ago, so
Yeah, they called in locates and they flagged it off, but other than that, there's not been
I
anything.
think they had problems getting equipment at the time.
Yeah.
There were some other complications that came up, so.
okay.
So I spoke to him not too long ago, and that's what he was saying, that things weren't rolling along as when they first got it going and had some.
Okay.
So it'll probably be next year, next season.
Any more questions for me? No. May I be excused?
Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you for being here.
Well, have a good evening.
Good job.
You too, have a good one.
Thank you.
Okay, move on to old business. Master plan committee report. Fundraising committee.
Well, we had the of course, we talked a little bit about it last month with just a few people. We had that hayride. And there's some, things that we learned from it that we want to do again. And we did have a donation kitty there, and I think we got I gave it to Gary, I think we got like $85.
Yeah, it was something like that.
So, and it was just pure donation. And there was, what would you think we had? We went around 4 times.
Yeah,
You went twice, I went once, Mark went once. Well, and didn't your husband go once? Maybe we.
No, he didn't.
No, okay,
How
so
many
we,
people can you put on each? Right.
we had, that first one, we had like almost 20 people. on it.
yeah. I had all the paper. I didn't even think
Okay.
about bringing it.
Yeah. But,
Now, that one was, I would almost say capacity. It was. full.
yeah.
And they had fun.
Oh, yeah.
My throat, I couldn't talk for 2 days.
Well, I would think like next year, let's start like in October, planning
Yeah,
Yeah.
And then
more
do a
organization,
little advertising.
lights on the thing and stuff like that, and more of a route put out and.
yes. Well, and see, it was just kind of like 2 weeks before,
Yeah.
and we, people enjoyed the hot chocolate. They, the ones that were there enjoyed the, the hayride. There was some that said they were coming back and didn't come back.
Yeah,
But we need to light the wagon up itself again, and maybe, next year have 2 wagons, but get on the agenda,
yeah, and we talked about letting people know ahead of time where they would decorate, because our route was kind of sporadic, because he
Yeah.
just went around to the houses that were decorated.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the thing, is to ask people to decorate.
Oh, boy, Gary. There we go.
To decorate, especially in the downtown area. And also, along with that.
Can you hear us, Gary?
Yep.
Okay.
So I just happened to be in Jackson one day, there around Christmas, and the road was closed the 61 was closed because they were redoing that bridge. So we took the route through the park. And they have the neatest things. They have corporate sponsors, and they, in their park, and I don't know if you can see this, but they line the road through their park with all these little, like this was St. Paul Lutheran.
Kate does that too.
Yeah, and.
Kate does that, yeah.
Yeah.
It was,
Oops.
Santa Claus, Indiana.
Oh,
They've got a,
Yeah.
they're like a
Yeah.
campground.
This is
We had all the lights.
Cape Career and Tech Center. They have the Santa Claus, but they line the, the park with
Sponsors.
these sponsorships. And there's some of them, like this one is in honor of Cindy Han Greco. And it has, there's an angel that goes with it. You can do it to honor, a family member or whatever. And I thought that would be kind of neat if we did our hay wagon and maybe did this sponsorship through the park.
Yeah, I mean, that could be your ride. You could
Yeah.
solicit the businesses beforehand, have them set it up, but that wagon ride could go through the.
Go
park.
through the,
The problem with that in the park, there's not a whole lot of places that have electricity.
well,
Yeah.
That's true.
But I can't imagine that park has a million plugs
No.
too, so maybe it would just be a matter of figuring that out and having 2 or 3 in that area and just,
Yeah.
maybe not line, but space it out. You're gonna have extension cords, I would imagine. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
but I
I
mean,
think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Even if just a few of them would do that at the electric poles that are available.
but I mean, they really don't even have to be lit up. I mean, you can get solar lights to light your thing up, your memorial or whatever, your display. you
It's
can
worth
do that.
something to look into and to
Yeah.
figure out if we could get more electric up there.
But it would be kind of neat to have them
I
go
agree.
through the park, like start by the Yanks Field and then go up through the park, and then you could come back down. It just depends, where we would come back down and then back into downtown. But that would be kind of a neat, thing for them to see. I mean, if you got a truck, you're going to see them. I think you're going to see them at
Do
night.
it with driving, you would, but not in the wagon, you won't.
I agree. I think it's something to ponder and look, think about.
The one in Cape is similar,
Yeah.
and the distance, like the loop, is less than a mile,
Oh, yeah.
and it's got sponsors everywhere.
Yeah, this was I wouldn't say this was a mile.
Yeah, so
And,
our park would be like perfect
yeah,
as far as distance goes.
Yeah.
And it was open, and when Sue and I went, it was like 8:30, 9 o'clock. We just happened to be in Cape, and she somehow read about it, so we went. And we had to wait in line. I mean, there's that many cars in front of us and behind us,
And
just
they go
all
through
going
slow.
through.
Some areas, it's on both sides of the road.
Yeah.
yeah. And see, that's the way it was in Jackson. There was stuff on both sides of the road. And, you have like the businesses sponsor, the churches sponsor.
Oh, yeah, there were a high school team sponsored by
Yeah.
Cape Notre Dame's volleyball team.
And
Or
like I said, this
they had the
one,
Girl Scouts sponsoring.
Yeah.
It was just a big old display,
yeah.
and you had Girl Scouts of America, you
Yeah.
had Boy Scouts of
Yeah.
America. you had-
And this one,
Same
this
people
one,
that do the scarecrows would jump on this too.
Yeah.
We have so many businesses to pull from
yeah.
in our
And
community.
like I said, the one was a memorial. If you want to do a memorial to, to a relative or something.
Well, I think we should set up a committee closer to the event and really get it kind of more organized, because it was successful last year on just an impromptu.
Yeah.
If we got together and figured out a route, solicit
Yeah, I think we're going to have to
perhaps.
get, start doing something, I would say late August, 1st of September at the latest, in order to get the businesses, in order to get our route, get all this stuff,
Right.
Hammered out. And, and like I said, for the hay wagon, we just said donation. And Gary, how much did we get from the donations?
Well, like $55.
Was it 50?
I thought it was in the 80s.
I thought it was in the 80s.
No, I thought it was 87.
I know. Well, we had to pay for the hot chocolate and that kind of stuff, so.
And that would be something too, we could form a committee, but ask for volunteers that want to help too. And
Yeah,
hopefully that will, not everybody's interested in a playground committee, but everybody has their different mission that they like to do.
yeah.
So I definitely think in August, like after Jour de Fête or something,
Yeah.
let's get together again
Yeah.
and look at this again. And I think it's going to be fun.
That way we'll get in the Christmas walk or whatever you call it, onto their program. And we can also advertise it ourselves as far as the hay wagon goes and stuff. Get a few more people to sing Jingle Bells, right?
They had to hear us in like St. Mary's or something. We were loud.
So, but that, that's one idea for, another fundraiser. It could be a.
Your
big success.
wagon was going every, 20, 30, 40 minutes?
Gary, how, it took about,
It was probably every 20.
yeah,
Pretty
But I
much
would
kept
keep
that
it
back
short.
with load and unloaded, and the next year going, and we went.
yeah,
And like if we do get the park all thing, that'd be perfect. Just going through the park, that'd be
Yeah.
long enough. So people don't want to have to wait a long time for the next wagon or.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, and if,
Not too long. And the weather was cooperative. if I remember.
yes, it was. And we could possibly find, we only had one wagon last time because we're right at the end of, 2 weeks before trying to find a wagon. If we plan it right, we can maybe get another wagon, decorate it and have, 2 wagons going at the same time.
I think you can.
you know?
And that would be discussed at our committee meetings.
Yep.
and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
so, but, you know, and again, you know, we'll discuss, like, do we do the donations again or whatever, so that's what we, you know.
Great
I
idea.
think we had, a lot of people just really liked, like the s'mores we had at, Halloween thing, you know, they really liked that. And we had people come up and say, oh my gosh, that, you know, the park board's doing something. You're
Yeah.
out here, you know, so that was a big plus. It was an ex-park board member that was impressed, so. So that's all I have. Unless somebody else has another fundraiser thing we need to do.
We're on the trail committee. Do you want to take over? We're in the middle of the committee reports.
He's been voted off
We're
the
doing
island.
good.
You're doing good.
He's been voted off the island, and he doesn't have an immunity. No immunity necklace. You're on your own.
All righty, trail committee.
Nothing to report.
All right. Playground committee.
The rock is in. The rock is in.
Smell what the rock is cooking.
Oh,
Gary, did you hear the rock was delivered?
Yes,
Okay. Do you have anything else to report about that?
Yeah.
no, I was gonna give Kendra a call today and I never got around to it.
She brought us chocolate.
I think it's supposed to be ready to ship at any time.
She was saying early spring, as I remember, so we were looking at March, April.
Yeah,
So we'll just wait for contact from the shipper. They'll let us know when it's on its way.
It's
The
exciting.
shipper.
Yep.
yeah,
We
that
know-
way we're gonna have some nice days. I can get up there with Dick Deb and Corey and we can figure out how much site prep there has to be.
Will we know what day it's coming in?
No,
No.
You don't, I'm gonna bite. All right. Bathroom committees.
bathroom's in. Just have to do some landscaping around it.
All right.
And is the bathroom on Main Street, is it open, or the bathroom at Valley Springs, is that gonna open soon? I'm just
That's
curious.
soon. I mean, if the weather stays like it is, then we can open it up. We'll see what the overnight temperatures are. That's our concern.
is Main Street closed?
No.
Oh, it's
No, I was just curious.
Yeah, it stays open.
Okay, good, okay. that's fine.
I think usually Gary and those guys open them up middle of March, 1st of April.
Yeah.
So
Do we have a Johnny in the spot at the other?
we'll have to order it.
That would be,
Go ahead.
Excuse me, I'm really hard of hearing over here. Is anything being said important?
No.
no.
It's all,
I know this-
It's all about bathrooms. Like
Okay, I'm for real, I can't hear.
whether they're open or not. I mean, we haven't opened up the ones we normally close. And we still have some landscaping work to do at the new bathroom.
Okay.
I asked the Valley Springs bathroom.
That's generally like April the 1st target date.
There you go, yeah,
Okay.
But like I said, weather permitting.
yeah.
Yeah, who knows how that's gonna do. All righty. That's it for the old business, or the committee reports. What about new business?
I asked for this item to be on the agenda. If you look in your packets, Gary, I don't think it got to you, but we have one.
Yeah. They emailed it to me.
Oh, okay, great. But I subscribed to a magazine that had an article in it about, there's been some recent research about the health benefits. There's a lot of research on the economic benefits and the social benefits of trees in urban communities. We're sort of urban in a way, barely. But there's been recent research on the physical, medical benefits of it, and they had an article about that, and I ran this by a doctor and asked if it was a legitimate thing, and he's an alderman, by the way, and he said, yeah, it's a legitimate thing. And I thought, well, that's an encouragement to us, I think, that we try to be proactive about increasing and improving the quality of our tree collection. And our specific area of responsibility, of course, is the parks. But in general, I think it's good for St. Genevieve. We take a lot of trees down, and I happen to know, as a former park director, many times a tree has to be removed or pruned. But if we could, and I'm not ready to propose this because I don't know enough about how it would work in reality. I'll talk to Happy about this, but wouldn't it be good if we had a general policy that whenever we took a tree down, we replace that at least with one tree? I just think that would be one way to keep from falling behind. I think we've in the last 10 years, we've fallen way behind. That's my observation in terms of the number of trees that we have in our overall community. And I think we should try to reverse that trend. I think it'd be better for the health of our people, better economically and better aesthetically, better psychologically. And so I just wanted to share that with you all. I hope you read this article. It's kind of interesting to me. And we can talk about it more at an upcoming meeting, but I just thought it was worth sharing. That's all.
Perfect.
I like it.
Well, there used to be trees along Market Street, but then,
There used to be a lot of
Used to
trees
be a lot
up
of trees, yeah.
Oh, yeah, we've been taking trees down and not replacing them.
I think Cyril's is the only one that has a little tree besides.
They're just going to.
I mean, yeah, we used to have two, but either way, they went through that one year to get rid of all the wrong planted type of trees that the roots were up.
That's right. You gotta plant the right kind of tree, you gotta have the right kind of hole, you gotta have all that stuff. And those aren't our specific responsibility, I don't think. The street trees are.
Street trees are ours, yeah.
But, I mean.
Why is it a park board thing?
The park board.
Not park board. No, when you say us, so
I'm
I'm thinking
sorry.
more globally.
I realize you have that hat, but in terms of the park board, I don't think we want to be perceived as sticking our nose where we don't have authority, but.
And that's why the board of aldermen are looking at street trees in that case.
Right, exactly. But, we do have something to say about the parks, and I think we've been losing trees in the parks too.
Yeah.
And there's fewer than there were. So we don't have to crowd. I think we have, interestingly, I think we had a few too many trees in Valley Spring because it's so dense that it's dark and the ground doesn't get grass on it because it's too dark to grow grass. But that's a different issue. That's a thinning issue. I'm talking about, mature trees that come down. They sometimes have to come down, but why can't we plant near it of a replacement tree that eventually will provide shade and beauty and aesthetic benefit and health benefits?
More oxygen.
More oxygen.
That's right. Because you know what they say, the best time to plant a tree is yesterday.
20 years ago is actually the
Yeah.
best time to plant a tree.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
The second best time is today. So anyway, I just wanted to share that. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Okay, I wanted to mention something. Our friend Jerry, that was really, really instrumental with the golf, the disc golf. He passed and we haven't had a meeting in 2-3 months. Don't you think it's fitting we honor him with a plaque at one of the holes with something? I've been thinking about this. We haven't had a meeting in a while. Since the last meeting, he has passed away. But he was instrumental in putting those 9 golf holes, 18 of them. I think it's only fitting that we acknowledge him with a rock, a carved something, a tree with his name on it. You know what I mean? Something that represents that. I don't know how everybody else feels about this, but I think, go ahead, Gary.
There was supposed to be a tree that went in the park back in December. I think Steve Vogt was coming in to meet with
Okay.
them.
Yeah. I thought
And
it
that was going to be in memory of Jay.
Okay, good. As long as there's something in his memory, I think it's only fitting we do something for him. Okay. Do we know if the tree's in or is it?
Yeah, because he posted it.
Okay.
Wasn't there a club or an organization that around that sport that he,
The PDGA or
Yeah.
something.
yeah.
Yeah.
Would they sponsor something like that or?
I mean, it sounds like somebody's already done it.
I think that's who it was that
Got it.
the tree.
And I'm not surprised that Steve took the bull by the horn and is
right.
doing something. He's that kind of a person. But I was thinking if we haven't done so,
Right.
from our part, that's the least we should do. So, okay.
Jeff would have been a good person to ask about that.
Any other business?
Gary,
Did,
His website if it's there.
did you guys talk about the kite
I was just about to
event
bring
yet?
that up.
Oh,
Not yet.
Not yet.
we're working on it.
Look it up.
How about the path?
That's what I was getting ready to bring up.
Gary, you wanted to talk about your path or the path?
Are we on the business?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would like to see a walking trip path to go from the parking lot to the playground at Pinkley Park. I heard a lot of this, concerns about that during the fall, that the grass was tall and the dew had held in it so long and the kids get their feet so wet walking back to it. And some of the little kids just with the battle of getting through the grass. So I'd like to see to make like what's supposed to go in Valley Spring with the stone edging and the chat surface.
So do we have an issue with what edging we put in, or can we be kind of free with that so we can get it done?
I would say, say we're gonna do the Valley Spring, the stone edging, that's readily available when it comes from Corey out on, Corey Road.
What edging was that, dude? Or you want, we can catch up with tomorrow, or I'll get with Corey to see if they can,
Okay.
they can do that.
I agree, that would be great.
That's on my list of things, but was not a high priority.
I just want to make sure it's wide enough, so it's gonna be, handicap accessible too.
Right,
Little
right. So that's
factory.
minimum 3. We're probably gonna go 4 to 5.
Yeah, I was gonna say, three is not wide enough for 2 people to walk.
Right. Well, you're just looking for access from the parking lot to the
Yeah, it's,
playground. So it's not like a walking trail where you
Right.
need that.
How long of an area are we talking?
Right.
Okay, I'm not even.
I think it's roughly about 75 feet long.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
yeah, I would make
Very
it at
logical
least
idea,
5.
Gary.
Yeah,
I think it's a great idea, yes.
It's quite and plus it's just uneven,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you
I
want
would make
one
it
around the
5
bridge, you can
5 feet
still do that.
wide.
but it's
Just
going to stay
for-
dry. and
Well,
get
think
dry.
of a mom, think of a mom in a wheelchair.
When did the bathrooms go back there? Are we gonna do that again this
Think of
year?
a grandma.
And-
She
What?
can walk.
But a 3 foot is,
Somebody.
that's not enough. 5 is the best.
It would be perfect.
Yeah.
What else?
Is that it?
Well, you got
Is that it?
Yeah, or what about the kite event?
what about
Say you already,
No, we
you
haven't.
already,
No, we haven't.
okay, yeah, that's it on that walking path.
Okay.
Should we get together privately on the kite, get a date? Does it have to be in March, since March is so crazy, or can we go into April?
We could go into April. Now,
I know April's got showers.
Easter is the 20th, so,
April, Easter's late this year.
well, it's when it's supposed to be. It's the first Sunday after the first full moon in spring.
Anyway,
It's when it is. It's supposed to be that day.
Because March 15th is Valley Auction.
Correct.
The 22nd, well, there's something else going on downtown. Maybe we should do it in April.
So April 12th is the gravel bike race, which doesn't have anything to do with the park, but the activity.
Yeah.
Right. April 5th is the library benefit.
We got,
Oh,
the 5th of April.
I'm looking at our school calendar just to make sure that nothing proceeds.
There's something going on with the library on the 5th. I don't know what it is. I just have library benefit in my calendar. I don't know if that's at my place or,
What, do we have to have it on a Saturday? Can we do it on a Sunday?
is soccer or T-ball going on at that time yet? Anybody know?
No. Shouldn't be either one.
Okay,
Soccer's in the fall. Usually starts August.
then T-ball is,
T-ball, May,
okay,
usually they're done, they're done by the first part of July. So April wouldn't interfere anything there.
Looks like stay away from Easter and you can pick your Saturday, Sunday.
You say the 12th of April is
That's
that
the bike race, yeah.
the bike race,
That's downtown.
yeah. And the 5th of April is,
I
you
don't
said,
know what it is.
But that's,
That might just be something. That house tours.
You can do it on the Sunday after the bike race.
No, that's March, never mind.
do what?
Do it on the Sunday after the bike race if you wanted.
Do it the 13th?
You said it would be.
Or later in March when
That's
it
the
becomes
13th.
more.
The 13th.
Do what?
Like the last weekend in March, the 29th or 30th. Maybe weather would be getting a little bit more,
It'll be windy, yeah.
If you do it in conjunction with the bicycle race, parents can take their kids to the city park instead of standing around for 4 hours. Go to the city park, fly your kite, and come back and watch dad cross the finish line. Give them something to do. Just a thought.
That's true.
'Cause it's a long wait.
Or like, no,
well, there's only so many people that have kids that go to the bike race.
Yeah, but
I'm game for the 29th or 30th of March. If my grandbaby isn't being birthed that weekend. I got a grandbaby coming back.
another one, huh?
Anybody, any thoughts? Anyone?
okay, I found it.
Either one works for me.
Yeah,
Then we
I'm
can-
wide open.
Okay, why don't you guys want to plan on the 29th or 30th right now, and then we can get together outside of this meeting and talk
Yeah.
about it?
Sounds good.
Do we buy kites or do we get them donated? We buy them?
I'm sorry, I can't hear.
Do we buy the kites or does it take it out of our budget or how do we do this?
As, I think Gary took care of it last year. Did you buy the kites this year?
What we didn't have last year, one year we did have, yes, we bought kites.
Do we have any left?
Well, we had those, we bought some from, what is that?
Oriental Trading?
Oriental
Yeah.
Trading, they were not,
Yeah, I think there's a few in the park house yet.
they were like, if they hit the ground, they just busted all to pieces.
Kind of.
Oh, yeah, they were $1 a piece kites.
Yeah,
They were-
gotta have a tail.
But there was some that brought their own kites. And if we advertised it, bring your own.
Right, and why, because I remember you had all your kites ready and we canceled last
Yeah,
year
it
for
was
some
April
reason.
20th last year.
When was it?
April 20th.
April?
Why did we cancel it? Was it raining or something?
They had
I guess there was like a communication problem or something. I don't know.
For lack of,
Well, that's one of the things,
Well, I can-
with all of our events, we're just gonna have to make sure we when we start advertising it the right way, so that we can get it out. Like, I just happened to see the Christmas, the the
Hayride.
ride. I just happened to see that on our page. That's the only place I ever seen it. It wasn't on like an event on Facebook, but so I was able to share it from our page to that.
Yeah.
But that was, like you said, like less than 2 weeks
Yeah.
before.
right, I mean,
But-
you got people already advertising.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Get your dates.
And
get
social
something.
media is kind of tricky if you're
Yeah.
not on board. You got the events page, you got our page
Yeah.
to manage, and it's a lot, it's a
And-
full-time job.
We're talking about doing the wagon ride again. Get a hold of Annette Rolf right away because she starts planning this thing right after.
She's already hitting us up, I mean,
Okay,
yes,
okay, good, okay.
we need to do that. Okay, back to the kites. We're gonna do that. Okay, thank you.
We'll just advertise that, well, we'll get together and
Right.
figure it out because we may need to buy just a few. Unless there's some of those cheap ones up there.
They're probably $2 now, double the
Yeah, they come from China.
There is some
Whoa,
left
he
in the
speaks.
firehouse. I'll have to get with Jeff and find out what's over there.
Okay.
And we can get money from our funds, right?
Oh, yeah.
If we just get it on
What's that?
a meeting and an agenda and get money, or do we just go?
You have plenty of time to,
We can get money from our funds if we need it.
With a small enough account or small enough amount, we can approve that without.
Okay.
right,
I mean, you need to get kites and, it's
Right.
like $50. Yeah, that's your problem.
go get some better kites than dollar kites,
Yes.
I would suggest.
We're gonna consider doing hot dogs. That's what we did though.
Yeah.
Well, we can discuss that at another.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Okay,
can.
because I'm thinking, let's do a spring fling, get music, live music, like,
Oh, yeah.
fish playing, kite flying. We'll discuss that at the meeting. Next.
The first one we had was on April the 1st.
Okay, so March 29, 30 is about the
And
same.
the very first one we had was rained out and then we had to do it the following weekend.
Yeah, and it was cold and windy and,
Yeah,
I know, because weather can still get nasty in March.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And April.
We
Yeah.
had snow in April before.
Oh, yeah.
Camped once.
Canceled
Yes.
track meets.
I remember hunting Easter eggs in the snow one year.
Oh, yeah.
We could call it a kite
they
slash.
last longer than the real.
Yes, they do. But they're not so much fun when you find them about 6 months later in the middle of summer.
Yeah, been there, done that.
oh God, yes. The
What was
dog
that?
found one time.
It wasn't at work.
Was that it?
I believe.
That's all I have.
Okay, so real quickly, what's gonna happen with the path at Peabody Park? You guys are gonna talk to the right people?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm talking to
Just say,
both of
just
you,
say
like.
yes. Just say yes.
okay. Well, you said bike, and bike is separate.
It's not a bike path.
No, I didn't say bike.
No,
Oh, that's what it sounds like.
Pinkley Park is what she said.
I said the
She said
right
Binkley Park.
people.
Right.
Sorry.
That says something about pet. You can't hear, you can't talk.
Yeah, I can't hear, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, learn sign language.
I know, I thought about that today, for real. If I continue with this deafness, I am going to learn sign language.
Welcome to my world.
I only know one thing, but I can't do it here.
Okay,
Motion to adjourn?
Motion to
Second.
adjournment.
All in favor?
Make a motion then. Make a favor, sorry. All in favor for
Aye.
adjournment? Yay. You didn't want to.
7:17 on the dot.